Welcome to our final daily drawing all about fire. We are working on a fireplace. It's going to look something like this. This is based off of my chiminea, which is out in my backyard. This is where I have my fires at night. You will need a blank piece of paper, a sketchbook, a pencil, and an eraser. We're going to start with some basic shapes. A circle for the body. And a sort of a cone that tapers off toward the top. Now, in order to get the cone to not be off to the side like that, what we're going to do is draw a very gentle, light line that starts in the center of this and goes straight up. That will help us get our chimney part of our chiminea to be vertical. At the top, I'm going to do a really flattened little oval. And then I'm going to have a couple lines that come down, and kind of go out to meet up with the edges of that curve. So it should be a nice gentle curve down, and it should just flow right into that curve. Wonderful. Add a little bit of a lip up here just by doing another larger oval that goes around that smaller oval. And there's a lip on the edge of the mouth of the chiminea. Let's add some little feet to the bottom. I'm gonna go little tiny foot on this side, boop. Little tiny foot on this side, boop. And then sometimes you can even see the third foot just barely poking out behind those two. Now we have quite the task ahead of us. We're going to shade this. So let's start by shading this the same way we learned how to shade a sphere. Choose a side for your light source. I'm choosing right over here. And sometimes what I do is I just draw a little arrow to remind myself the direction that the light source is coming from. Now what we're going to do, there are a few methods of doing this. I'm going to have you shade the whole thing with a medium value. Whew, this is going to take a while. Here we go. Ready? Go! Woo, that took a while. And now erase all the boo-boos on the edges. Now we're going to shade this as if it's a sphere. The light source is coming from here, so the light's going to touch here, which means the shadow's going to be here. With a sphere, it's really nice to do a moon-shaped shadow. Here's what it's going to look like. As I'm shading, by the way, I am now going in the direction of the curve. I'm going around. I have curving pencil marks that are creating the shape of the moon. Do you see that crescent moon shape starting to emerge? really dark right in the center. And blend it out with your finger. You'll know it's completely blended when you can't tell where one value begins and the other value ends. No lines, and so I can see a line right here where this value begins and that one ends, so I'm just going to fill it in with a value in between those two. Same thing here, I can see where this value begins and this one ends, so I'm going to fill it in with an in-between value. Now it's time to use your eraser. Erase a circle in the spot closest to the light source. Now I'm going to erase my circle a little larger than I actually want it, and I'm going to go in and blend the edges because I don't want any spot where I can tell the difference between one value and another. I don't want to see where one value begins and the other value ends. Gorgeous. We've finished shading the bottom. Now let's shade this top part, but first I need to fix my smudgies. Okay, so this is basically a cylinder. It's something between a cylinder and a cone shape. It's like a cone, but it doesn't come up to a point. It's like a cylinder, but it goes out a little bit on the edges. So we are going to shade light to dark. We already have a medium, so I'm going to shade darker over here on this side, and I'm going up and down with the shape of the curve. I'm going darker, darker, darker. I'm also connecting up my dark value with this moon shape, this crescent moon that I made down here. Once you get to the crescent moon, stop. Don't go down here into the sphere. And blend. And now let's erase away a little highlight. This is my closest section to the light source, so I'm going to erase my highlight all the way down to this little circle that I made before. And blend the edges. Cool. Now this looks a little unrealistic to me, so I'm just going to go in here. There's a ridge there, right? So I'm going to shade underneath the ridge. There's a little shadow being cast. That helps. And I'm going to go down to my feet, and I'm going to do a little bit of shading at the feet. So the part underneath is right here, so I'm going to shade that darker, then I'm going to fade it to light. And that just makes it look like it's underneath, like this is casting a shadow onto the leg. This one in the very back is going to be the most in shadow, because it's way back there. And here we go again. So the closest spot where the leg is closest to this, it's going to be cast shadow, and then it's going to go lighter, lighter, lighter. If you want to go a little bit further and make this look dimensional, like I did here, what we can do is establish sides. This reminds me of the Loomis method because we've got a face over here and a face over here. It's making it look dimensional. All you do is do a line straight down the middle. And because this side is farther from the light source, that's going to be the darker side. And this is going to be the lighter side. Over here, line down the middle. And the light's coming here, the light's hitting this side, and this is the darker side. What? That's crazy. Oh my gosh. So cool. Okay, we're missing something, and that's a hole with fire in it. Let's go ahead and establish where your hole is going to be with your eraser. We are eraser sketching. Oh my gosh. Eraser sketching, that's crazy. And then erase it out. Whoa. Now we are going to do some very basic logs because drawing stacked logs is more difficult than it sounds. So we're just going to do 2, and we're going to do our best. They're sideways cylinders, and then we're going to do some flames on top of them. Start with a sort of a downward cylinder like this, and we'll know it's a cylinder because it'll have an oval at the end. Do another little cylinder popping up out from behind it, and a little oval at the end. And that's basically as in-depth as we're gonna go because I don't want to bog you down with the difficulty of different stacked logs because they like go in different directions, they react off of each other. That's a whole nother lesson. Let's do some flames, some cartoon flames. Doing those shapes from before. Now I've done flames so many times that I can just freehand it. If you want to go back to yesterday's lesson, you certainly can, or you can just try some cool wavy shapes like I did. And now, my favorite part. We're gonna shade in the background as dark as we possibly can, avoiding the logs, avoiding the flame, because when it's dark back there, the flame is gonna look bright. It's gonna look like that light is shining out. So excited, here we go. Ooh, that's so cool. Okay, let's shade these little ovals with a medium value. And because this is overlapping that one, I'm just going to do a light cast shadow right in there. And I can do a little cast shadow where the log goes underneath the edge of the chiminea. So this is this part casting a shadow onto the log. I know, it's a little weird. If you just want to get me some light values on the logs, I'm fine with that. Just so long as your flame stays super duper white and your background stays super duper dark, that's what I'm really excited about. Cool, look at that, that's so cool. Okay, we got some extra steps here. We're gonna do a little bit of smoke coming out the top, just some little smoke. I like to have it like billowing off to the side. I'm gonna just lightly erase right here so that we can see the smoke coming out, but it's still showing through what we drew before so that it looks kind of see-through, and then you can just do some like light value. Cool. My last step is to shade the background to make this pop forward. Let's get in a horizon line. And you can shade with soft edges like we did with our candle, or you can shade with a hard to find edge. Do you see how I made a shape back here, an oval shape? My favorite shape. Made an oval shape back there and shaded it in. I'm gonna do that again. Here we go. Oval, oval. Let's shade it in. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Okay. Okay, you know what? If you didn't do that last part, that's okay. That was intense. My hand hurts. That was a lot of shading. I'm out of breath. Okay, we need some quick cast shadows going in this direction. So the light source is coming from here. Anywhere that foot touches is going to go a little cast shadow going away from it. Little cast shadow from this foot going away from it. Little cast shadow on this foot going away. We are done. Good job with all your daily drawings, and I will see you at the Google Meet.